Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the previous video, we learned about selection of seeds before sowing, broadcasting method and seed drill method. And today we are going to study adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation and protection from weeds. So let's start today's interesting class. Students' plants also need nutrients to grow healthy and strong. Just like we need food, plants also need minerals from the soil. But when the same field is used again and again, the soil loses nutrients slowly. So farmers add manure and fertilizers to make the soil fertile again. Now let's move on to natural methods of adding manure. First method is fallowing. फैलोइंग मीन्स लीविंग द फील्ड एम्प्टी फॉर वन और मोर सीजन्स, यानी फार्मर्स कुछ टाइम तक फील्ड में क्रॉप्स नहीं उगाते एंड दिस हेल्प्स द सॉइल रीगेन न्यूट्रिएंट्स नेचुरली. Next, dead plants and animals decompose and form humus which increases soil fertility. Which means dead plants and animals धीरे धीरे सड़कर और गलकर ह्यूमस बनाते हैं एंड ह्यूमस सॉइल को ज़्यादा फर्टाइल और न्यूट्रिएंट रिच बनाता है जिससे प्लांट्स की ग्रोथ बेटर होती है. But this process takes a lot of time, so nowadays it is not used very much. Now students, let's study another important method called crop rotation. Crop rotation means growing different crops one after another on the same field. For example, one season wheat and next season pulses. This helps maintain soil fertility. Here are some of the advantages of crop rotation. Crop rotation keeps soil fertile, prevents diseases and pests, gives better crop yield and controls weed. And last is crop rotation also provides orderly farming, यानी फार्मिंग प्रॉपरली प्लान्ड और सिस्टमैटिक वे में होती है. डिफरेंट क्रॉप्स सही ऑर्डर में ग्रो की जाती हैं एंड जिससे फील्ड मैनेजमेंट आसान हो जाती है. सो इट इज़ अ वेरी यूजफुल फार्मिंग प्रैक्टिस. नाउ लेट्स मूव टू अनदर फार्मिंग मेथड कॉल्ड मिक्स्ड क्रॉपिंग. Here, mixed cropping means growing two or more crops together in the same field. For example, wheat plus gram together. This helps maintain the nutrient balance of the soil. Here, leguminous plants like gram add nitrogen to the soil with the help of bacteria called rhizobium. ग्राम जैसे लेग्यूमिनस प्लांट सॉइल में नाइट्रोजन बढ़ाने में मदद करते हैं. इनकी रूट्स में राइजोबियम नाम के बैक्टीरिया होते हैं जो हवा से नाइट्रोजन लेकर सॉइल में मिलाते हैं. इससे सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी बढ़ जाती है. Now students, after learning natural methods, let's understand manure in detail. Manure is a natural substance made from decomposed plants and animals waste. It means manure एक natural substance है जो dead plants and animal waste से बनता है. जब plants and animals decompose यानी सड़ गल जाते हैं तब manure बनता है. It makes the soil fertile and healthy. Manure soil को fertile, healthy और nutrient rich बनाता है. नेक्स्ट, मैन्योर इज़ इको फ्रेंडली एंड बायोडिग्रेडेबल. इट मीन्स ये इको फ्रेंडली होता है यानी एनवायरनमेंट को नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाता और बायोडिग्रेडेबल होता है यानी नेचुरली मिट्टी में मिल जाता है. नाउ लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड टाइप्स ऑफ मैन्योर. फर्स्ट वन इज ग्रीन मैन्योर. ग्रीन मैन्योर इज मेड फ्रॉम प्लांट वेस्ट एंड लेग्यूमिनस प्लांट्स. ग्रीन मैन्योर प्लांट वेस्ट और लेग्यूमिनस प्लांट से बनाया जाता है जिसमें कुछ प्लांट्स को ग्रो करके सॉइल में मिला दिया जाता है जिससे न्यूट्रिएंट्स बढ़ते हैं और ये सॉइल फर्टिलिटी इम्प्रूव करने में भी मदद करते हैं. नाउ सेकंड वन इज फार्म यार्ड मैन्योर. हियर फार्म यार्ड मैन्योर इज मेड फ्रॉम एनिमल डंग, स्ट्रॉ एंड लीव्स. इट मीन्स काउ डंग, सूखी पत्तियां और खेत का वेस्ट मिलाकर मैन्योर को तैयार किया जाता है एंड दिस ऑल्सो मेक्स सॉइल हेल्दी एंड फर्टाइल. Now let's move to third one, that is compost manure. Now compost manure is made from dry leaves and kitchen or plant waste. That is, for example, vegetable peels, dry leaves and plant waste. इन सबको decompose करके compost manure बनाया जाता है. And it increases soil fertility and is also environment friendly. So students, now we understood what manure is and its different types. But why do farmers use manure in farming? So now let's look at some important advantages of manure. Manure improves soil quality, increases fertility, increases microbial activity and safer for fruits and vegetables. Now students, let's understand fertilizers. Fertilizers are chemical substances added to the soil to provide nutrients quickly. यानी fertilizers plants को जल्दी nutrients देने के लिए use किए जाते हैं. And fertilizers are man-made chemicals that provide specific nutrients to the soil. For example, nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. They help crops grow faster and healthier. And different crops need different fertilizers, so fertilizers are also crop specific. Now students, leguminous plants like gram and peas do not need nitrogen fertilizers. But why? because bacteria called rhizobium are present in their root nodules. These bacteria take nitrogen from the air and add it into the soil. So the soil becomes naturally rich in nitrogen. Now the most commonly used fertilizers are urea, NPK fertilizer and superphosphate. Now these fertilizers help in better plant growth. So the most commonly used fertilizers are NPK fertilizers. NPK means N for nitrogen, P for phosphorus and K for potassium. Now these nutrients help crops grow healthy and strong. Now another fertilizer is urea. Urea mainly supplies nitrogen to the plants. Next is CAN fertilizer, which means calcium ammonium nitrate. It supplies calcium and nitrogen. And another fertilizer is diammonium phosphate, which supplies nitrogen and phosphorus. Now let's understand some advantages of fertilizers. Fertilizers work very fast and provide specific nutrients. And disadvantages are that excessive use of fertilizers can be harmful. It may damage soil quality, pollute water and soil, and affect health and also costly. So students, we have already studied manure and fertilizers in detail. So while looking at these differences, just revise the points that we already learned, and now let's move forward to the next important topic, that is irrigation. So students, irrigation means supplying water to crops in the fields. Here plants need water for proper growth just like humans need water to survive. Here, farmers supply water to fields from different sources like canals, wells, rivers or waterways, and rainwater. And one more important thing, all crops do not need the same amount of water. Some crops need more water and some need less. Even different types of crop hold water differently. So irrigation depends on type of crop, type of soil, and seasons. Now let's understand some importance of irrigation. The first one is irrigation makes the soil soft, and soft soil makes plowing easier for farmers. It means irrigation soil को soft बना देता है, and जब मिट्टी soft हो जाती है तो farmers के लिए plowing यानी खेत जोतना आसान हो जाता है. Now second importance is irrigation provides moisture for germination. Irrigation seeds को moisture यानी नमी provide करता है. And seeds cannot grow properly in dry soil, and water helps the seeds start growing into a baby plant, which means seeds dry soil में properly grow नहीं कर पाते, and water मिलने से क्या होता है, seed germinate करना शुरू कर देता है and baby plant निकलने लगता है उससे. Next, third importance is irrigation is necessary for proper growth of roots. Roots do not grow well in dry soil, and water helps roots grow longer and stronger, which means irrigation roots की proper growth के लिए बहुत necessary होता है, and dry soil में roots अच्छी तरह grow नहीं कर पाते, जिस वजह से water मिलने से roots longer और stronger बनते हैं. Now last importance of irrigation is water also helps plants absorb nutrients from the soil. Here water dissolves nutrients present in the soil, then roots absorb these nutrients, rich water for plant growth. It means water soil में होने वाले न्यूट्रिएंट्स को डिसॉल्व कर देता है, एंड देन रूट्स इस न्यूट्रिएंट रिच वाटर को एब्जॉर्व करते हैं फॉर प्लांट प्रॉपर प्लांट ग्रोथ. So students, now we understood why irrigation is so important for crops, but one question comes here: how do farmers supply water to such large fields? For this, different methods of irrigation are used. So now let's study the methods of irrigation. Students, irrigation methods are mainly of two types, that is traditional methods and modern methods. In traditional methods, human labor or animals are used. For example, moat, that is pulley system, chain pump, dhekli, rahat, that is lever system, and water wheel method. These methods are cheaper but less efficient. So students, these were the traditional methods of irrigation. They are simple methods but they require more labor and more water. Nowadays, farmers use better and more advanced methods to save water and time. So now let's study the modern methods of irrigation. Here, modern methods save water and distribute water equally. Now first one is sprinkler system. In sprinkler irrigation, long pipes are connected in the fields, and these pipes have rotating nozzles on the top which sprinkle water like rain. And a pump pushes water through the pipes with pressure. When the nozzle rotates, water falls on the crops like rainfall. And this method is very useful in sandy soil and areas where water is less. And also it helps save water and gives equal water to all plants. Next one is drip irrigation. In drip irrigation, water falls drop by drop near the roots, and this saves water and is very useful in water shortage areas. And this method is useful for fruits and flower plants. Now third one is furrow irrigation. In furrow irrigation, water flows through small channels between crops, and these small channels are called furrows. Here water moves through these furrows and reaches the roots of the plants easily. And now the last fourth one is basin irrigation. In basin irrigation, the field is filled with water, and this method is mainly used for paddy crops. Now students, along with crops, some unwanted plants also grow in fields. Now these unwanted plants are called weeds. स्टूडेंट्स, आपने नोटिस किया होगा जब हम घर पर प्लांट्स लगाते हैं तो कभी कभी कुछ अनवांटेड प्लांट्स अपने आप ग्रो होने लगते हैं, एंड दीज अनवांटेड प्लांट्स आर कॉल्ड वीड्स एंड दे टेक वाटर, न्यूट्रिएंट्स एंड स्पेस फ्रॉम यूजफुल प्लांट्स. For example, wild oat, that is jani. Next is amaranthus, that is cholai. Next, third one is bathua, that is chenopodium. Now students, weeds can be removed mainly in two ways, that is manual weeding and chemical weeding. In manual weeding, weeds are removed by hands. Farmers either uproot the weeds or cut them close to the ground. But students, sometimes crops can also get damaged during weeding, because useful plants may also get uprooted accidentally. So farmers should know when weeds grow, when they flower, how they spread. This helps in better weed control. Different weeds grow with different crops, so changing crops regularly, called crop rotation, also helps control weeds. So students, manual weeding takes more time and labor. That's why farmers also use chemicals to remove weeds quickly. Now weeds are controlled using chemicals called weedicides or herbicides. They help kill unwanted weeds. Here weedicides are mixed with water and sprayed on fields using a sprayer. And these chemicals are sprayed before weeds produce flowers and seeds, so weeds cannot spread further. One commonly used weedicides is 2,4-D, that is 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. But students, weedicides can also be harmful for humans and other living organisms, so they should be used carefully and safely. So students, after irrigation, farmers also have to protect crops from birds, animals and insects, because many birds, insects and pests damage the crops and reduce crop yield. स्टूडेंट्स, आपने फील्ड्स में स्केयर क्रो देखा ही होगा. स्केयर क्रो खेत में रखा जाता है टू स्केयर अवे बर्ड्स. फार्मर्स ऑल्सो बीट ड्रम्स और मेक लाउड साउंड्स टू ड्राइव बर्ड्स अवे. स्टूडेंट्स, नेक्स्ट इज इंसेक्ट्स, रैट्स एंड रोडेंट्स जो क्रॉप को डैमेज करते हैं उन्हें हम पेस्ट कहते हैं, एंड द केमिकल्स यूज टू किल और कंट्रोल दीज पेस्ट आर कॉल्ड पेस्टिसाइड्स. नाउ पेस्ट लाइक रैट्स एंड रोडेंट्स आर कंट्रोल्ड यूजिंग केमिकल्स कॉल्ड रोडेंटिसाइड्स, एंड अदर हार्मफुल इंसेक्ट्स को ख़त्म करने के लिए पेस्टिसाइड सॉल्यूशन क्रॉप पर स्प्रे किया जाता है. एंड इन अ वेरी लार्ज फील्ड्स पेस्टिसाइड्स आर समटाइम्स स्प्रेड यूजिंग लो फ्लाइंग एयरक्राफ्ट. Now some common pesticides are DDT, that is dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane. Next is BHC, benzene hexachloride. Next is sulfur, then zinc phosphide and warfarin. But students, pesticides can also be harmful for humans and other living organisms, so they should be used carefully. So students, after protecting the crops and taking care of them, the crops finally become mature and ready to be cut. And this process is called harvesting. Now harvesting means cutting and collecting mature crops from the field. Here the grains obtained after harvesting are called produce. Now different crops are harvested at different times. For example, wheat is harvested during March-April and paddy is harvested during September-October. In small fields, farmers cut crops like wheat and paddy using a sickle. And in large fields, harvesting is done using a machine called harvester. Now this saves time and labor. So students, in case of cereal crops, after harvesting, grains still remain attached to the crop plants. So the next step is threshing. Threshing means separating grains from the harvested crops. Here, threshing can be done manually, and farmers sometimes separate grains by beating the crops against a hard surface. In large farms, a machine called thresher is used for threshing. A combined harvester performs both harvesting and threshing at the same time. So students, after threshing, grains still contain husk and lighter particles. So the next process is called winnowing. In this, separation of grains from chaff by wind is called winnowing. Here in winnowing, grains are dropped from a height and the lighter husk or chaff blows away with the wind, while the heavier grains fall down due to gravity. So students, after harvesting, threshing and winnowing, the grains are finally ready. But one important question comes here. How are these grains kept safe for a long time? So now let's study the next topic, that is storage of produce. Students, after harvesting, farmers have to store grains properly. Otherwise, insects, moisture and fungus may damage the food grains. Here, farmers store grains for food and chaff as fodder for animals. Some part of the produce is also sold in market or to government agencies. Now let's see the types of storage. The first one is domestic level storage. In this, food grains are stored in jute bags or tin cans. Students, dried neem leaves are often kept with grains. They help protect grains from insects and worms. So students, this was storage at home level. Now let's see how grains are stored on a very large scale, that is commercial level storage. So on a large scale, grains are stored in silos. साइलो बड़े और ऊंचे स्टोरेज स्ट्रक्चर्स होते हैं जिनमें ग्रेन्स को लार्ज स्केल पर स्टोर किया जाता है और ये ग्रेन्स को मॉइस्चर, इंसेक्ट्स और रैट्स से प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज ग्रैंडरीज. ग्रैंडरीज बड़े स्टोर हाउस होते हैं जहां फूड ग्रेन्स को लंबे समय तक सेफली स्टोर किया जाता है. And government agencies like Food Corporation of India, that is FCI, and State Warehousing Corporation store food grains in large godowns. Humidity and moisture are controlled carefully because fungus can damage grains, and the total amount of grain produced from a crop is called crop yield. So students, till now we studied food production from plants, but we also get many food products from animals. So now let's move to the last topic of this chapter, that is food production from animals. The rearing of animal on a large scale is called animal husbandry, which means taking care of animals on a large scale for food and useful products is called animal husbandry. Here, animals give us many useful food products like milk, eggs, meat, honey, and fish. And large scale rearing of honeybees is called apiculture. In this, we get honey, beeswax from honeybees. Next is pisciculture, in which large scale rearing of fish in fish farms is called pisciculture. And all these products, that is milk, eggs and fish, are rich source of protein. So students, today we completed the full chapter, that is crop production and management. I hope this chapter is now completely clear to you. Thank you so much for learning with me. If you like the video, like, share and subscribe.